Today, I'm joined by a content creator called Exigeous. Now, he has come up with a really awesome, sort of game mode that we're going to play in our Sidewinders, which is really basic. There's a really accessible way to get into PvP, which I need. But yes, join us now in Elite. Sam, if you can pop us into that Discord and
you spent a million credits to.
Hello, hiya.
Hey, how are you?
Good. We've done our intro now, and
excellent.
I was just explaining that you're joining me, and that we've got a fun sort of little custom game mode setup idea going. Right? What do we call Sidewinder Slaughter? You call it, right?
I do. Should I just quickly explain that?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so I was kind of explaining it to my viewers while you were doing that, but let me give everybody the overview. So the idea is everybody starts in a bone stock Sidewinder. So the Sidewinder is the beginner ship in Elite. It's actually probably truly my favorite ship to fly. Handles beautifully. It's just a joy to fly when it's fully engineered and built. We're not going to be doing that today. And so everybody starts in a level playing field. We go outside the station and we all get into a big PvP deathmatch. So as many people as show up, we're in an anarchy space. So there's no way to get a fine, no way to get crimes or get sent to detention, nothing like that. But the unique part is each time you die and respawn, you get to upgrade or add one module. So it adds this really unique strategy element of what do you want to do first, right? Do you want to do engines or shields or hull or weapons or, whatever you want to do?
Well, I've watched your video and I think I've got all of the best tips out of it now,
great.
I looked at your pros and cons and I'm now desperately trying to remember them. I remember.
Well, I'll give you some tips as we go along for sure.
Okay.
Right. And so, I do 30-minute rounds. Generally, we'll see how it goes today. Usually we do Sidewinders the first round, then we'll switch to Eagles the second round. And then we potentially do Vipers the third round because the Viper opens up some medium hard points. So you can use some different weapons. Yeah, there are some restrictions. The main restrictions are, so no engineering, none of the unlocked modules like Guardian modules or Power Play modules. And the big, most important one is no Seeker missile racks. Dumbfire missiles are fine, and they're actually really good. But Seeker missiles are just way too overpowered for this. So we do ban Seeker missiles. So please, everyone, no Seeker missiles. And that's kind of it.
Mm-hmm. That sounds great. So if people wanted to join us, I've already got a few people in the chat here asking what system we're in.
Please.
Yeah. So we are in the NEX system, I suppose.
We are, yeah, and I'm showing it on as well, and I can say it to you. It's ENAYEX, and it's pretty close to the center, right? It's fairly close to most things. It's not out in the middle of nowhere or anything. So anybody is welcome. We're in open. I do ask that just in the event that we need to, if everybody would go ahead and friend up with me and request for my private group. If we need to go to private group for some reason, we'll do that rather quickly. But I think we'll just be able to stay in open. It's a lot more fun in open. Everybody can find us real easily.
Now, I want to get rid of my Super Cruise and my docking computer, right?
You do. Great. So it's a perfect place to start. Let's talk about a little bit of outfitting. So you're welcome to remove anything at any time. So I'm going to go in and remove your docking computer, your Super Cruise Assist, your cargo hatch, your cargo rack, get rid of all that. And we found that because truly the first upgrade everyone wants to do is the distributor, we decided to just give everybody the distributor right off the bat. Okay, so go ahead, as soon as we start and upgrade your distributor to A-rated. So I'm going to do that myself.
So that's going to be in your core internal
That's going to be in your core. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. And your distributor is what's responsible for sending energy to your different systems, weapons, shields, and thrusters. And, the stock, it's the weakest distributor in the game, the 1E. It's so brutal to play with that because we found truly everybody wanted to upgrade that first. It was kind of like, we figured it was kind of like Wheel of Fortune where everybody gets the RSTLNE now. Just give it to everybody.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
And so then once you're outfit with that, what we'll do is I'm going to go ahead and lift off and just head right outside the station. And here in just a moment, we'll call go.
So are we going with stock hard points at the moment? So pulse lasers.
Correct. That's right. That's right. So we'll start just as you bought it, only changing the distributor. And as I said, as we go along, I'm happy to give you tips and help you with some of the different outfitting choices. There's ones that there's ones that I like, but there's potentially ones that would work better for you. We start this first round with, I think these are gimbaled, right? Yeah, these are gimbaled. And then the second round, when we go to the Eagle, those will start with fixed lasers. And one of the things to point out is fixed weapons generally do about 30% more damage than a gimbaled weapon. So if you can land the shots, fixed weapons are pretty much always the better choice.
Oh,
the big one is we definitely don't want to use turrets because turrets are very weak, especially at this size.
Is that because of the balancing of like their, like you say, so a fixed gun does more damage, but I guess because of the balancing, right? Because
that's right, because it's harder to use.
Yeah. So when you do land those shots, you're getting some damage out of it rather than the.
That's exactly right.
Easy mode turrets.
Yep. Exactly right. And there's a couple of weapons, like rail guns, for example, plasma accelerators that are only fixed. And then there's a couple like the Guardian weapons. There's some others that don't offer gimbal. There's some weird ones in there, right? But for us, we're going to be using the standard stuff, pulse lasers. I probably for you would recommend like multi-cannons, but we'll get into that as you get to your rebuy, right? Hopefully everybody will I'm guessing everybody might pick on me first and might let you have a little bit of a pass at the beginning to get your feet under you. Am I right that this is the first time you've done PvP? Of any kind?
Well, yeah, anything like serious, like I've done a little bit of messing around, but absolutely. Yeah, this proper PvP, this is it. This is what I've done.
Great. That's great. That's great. And it's a great way to get people into it, get you used to shooting to other players and just having some fun with it. And then, then potentially for those that are interested, move into, real PvP, full on PvP, right? So, okay, so the one thing to notice, make sure you've got your cargo hatch closed. I think I see your cargo hatch open.
It. Yeah.
Yep. Don't do that because that'll slow you down dramatically. That and your landing gear. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I flicked the wrong switch then. I was putting my landing gear up.
Yeah, no worries. So go ahead and deploy your hard points.
Okay.
All right, great. And so again, what we'll do, I'll call go here in just a second. I'll kind of watch the clock. We'll do roughly a 30-minute round, something like that, as we're having fun and as folks arrive. For those that are joining, if you do have instancing issues, if you spawn in and you don't see anybody, the quickest thing to try is to exit to main menu and then log back in. Usually that will fix it. If that doesn't fix it, in the live streaming chat channel in the Level 11 Discord, if you want to shout out there to see if somebody that's here will wing up with you, you can try that. I'm obviously going to stay winged with Smithy, and I won't be able to pay too much attention to that. But if you guys need that, that's the best way to get back in. So if there aren't any other questions, shall we?
Is Sam?
I
think Sam's gone for a second, but if Sam is back,
okay, sure.
Can you turn the game audio up a bit in my headphones? Thank you. And no, that's it. I'm good to go. In fact, I might quickly turn my brightness up a little bit because this monitor is configured slightly differently to my usual one. Let's turn this up a bit.
Sweat. And I'm going to say that we're going to go at 17:16:30 game time. So that gives us about 40 seconds or so.
17:16:40, did you say?
40. Yeah, exactly. So we've got 30. So we've got about 30 seconds now.
Yeah.
And one trick, by the way, if you know where your night vision is, turning on night vision is a pretty good trick because it is a little dark out here.
Oh, I do. One of these switches does it.
Yeah.
Which one? Oh God, I don't want to.
15 seconds. Yeah, no worries. We can do it for the next round. It's also on your right panel on the ship tab.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. That's an easy way of doing it.
Yeah. 5 seconds. I'm going to back up from you a little bit. 2, 1, and go.
So I don't want to target you, right?
That's okay. You want target anybody? Absolutely, you want to target me.
All is it?
It's everybody versus everybody. I'm certainly going to be shooting at you. Okay, we had our first death already.
I basically just went into full evasion then.
That's great. Hey, that's great. That's exactly what you want to do. I'm not dead just yet. Here I'm about to go. There I go. All right, first death. I think I beat you to first death, didn't I?
Yeah, I think maybe people were being kind.
You know, that probably won't last long for either of us.
All right, okay.
All right, Carl Cooper got the kill for me. What I would probably recommend for you, and this is what I'm going to do first, is chaff. Everybody is using gimbals. Chaff's a very good defensive module at this point. I tend to like that, have a little bit of defense before I go for offense. So if you'd rather go offense first, I would probably recommend, I probably would recommend either, depending on what you're comfortable with, a fixed beam laser or a gimbaled multi-cannon, whichever sounds more fun.
I like the idea of a gimbaled multi-cannon. That sounds...
Okay. So I would go ahead and add that then. The one thing you'll have to do, realize, is you'll need 2 different fire groups, right? So you'll have to be firing both. But both are gimbaled. That'll work totally great.
Why do I need to put them in? Can I not put them in the same fire group?
You could actually, sure. Because they're on the same, they're both gimbaled. So actually, yeah, you could do that. Okay. I think I'm just thinking I tend to split energy and kinetic weapons, but you're absolutely right. There's no reason to not. All right. I'm on my way out now. Looks like a lot of people died that round. And also for everybody, we want to stay really close to the station. So again, the only thing you can do wrong is shoot the station. If you were to land a shot on the station, it will kill you. Other than that, there's nothing you can do wrong.
And that's because we're in an anarchy system, right? So
that's right.
For people who aren't familiar with it, the elite zones have like law ratings, I guess, right? Is that so?
That's right.
The likelihood of
security,
things being imposed. Oh my god, I was on my throttle up whilst I was talking about that. It's happening again. We're in a system where anything goes. So that's why we've come here, because typically if you just started having a PvP fight outside a station in a highly sort of controlled and secure area in the game, you would have space police to deal with. Whilst here,
that's right,
we don't.
That's right.
So don't just do this anywhere. People will be
somewhat
miffed if you do.
Yep. Because just violating the no fire zone would get you a fine, and then if you die with a fine, you're going to spawn in detention, maybe 50, 100 light years away.
Nobody likes detention.
Absolutely not. That would be terrible
in
this case.
Okay, landing goes up.
And I can tell we're already clearly split into a couple different instances. Cement, I'm guessing I'm going to actually go ahead and wing you back in, Cement, because he's one of our leadership here, and he's in the UK like you are, and tends to have a hard time staying in the same instance with me and most of the guys. So.
Because you guys are
Cement, I see you're in a wing, buddy.
American shards.
I'm North America. Yeah. Cement, if you'll go ahead and leave your wing, I'll add you into mine. Right. Oh, there I go. There's my second death.
I'm trying to get the guys that are targeting you. It's tough. Like, are they
sure, and Rui got me. If you really just in a way, you can be opportunistic. You see somebody shooting at somebody else and nobody's shooting at them, right? You obviously go for that target. I don't think Rui is in my instance, Cement.
Now, do I want to aim for the little circles or not? With gimbaled weapons.
You do. You want to keep your ship basically pointed at it. You don't have to be as right on target, because you're going to be, using gimbals. But okay, there you are, Smith. The closer, the better, right? Especially for when we get into fixed weapons here in a minute.
I think I got somebody. Oh, there's an Imperial Eagle. Scary.
Is it a human? And so, do you know the way to tell the difference between a human and an NPC?
In the scanners, the information on the left. Yeah.
Well, the scanner in front of you, if it's a hollow target, it's a human. If it's a solid target, it's an NPC. Oh. Right, and then if you see a triangle, that means they have their hard points deployed, their weapons, and if it's a square, they do not.
Yeah, I remember seeing about this. Yeah, the shape on the HUD dictates that. That's actually a really useful bit of information. Yeah, so what was being said there, chat, is the shape of the contact on this sensor HUD in front of me, which is another great thing about Elite. Elite's sensor system is so clever and I don't know, real sci-fi enough. I really like it. But yeah, the shape of the icon being shown dictates the status or the state of the ship in terms of its color, in terms of its shape. That what you're seeing on that scanner is important. And also, it works in 3 dimensions, obviously, which is quite important in space. But yeah, it's great. Right, I'm down.
Well, as you know,
one more death. I think I got 1 kill, or at least had a big part in 1 kill there.
Awesome.
So I'm gonna change something else. So is it any module can be upgraded or changed now, but it's just one module,
Any module you want. Any module, but just one module at a time.
Okay.
And if it were me, for you next, potentially, if you really like the multi-cannons, I would maybe go with another multi-cannon and go 2.
Yeah.
If you want to go more defensive, I would probably go for a chaff at some point soon.
Right, okay. I will perhaps go that next, but I want to line up these dual multi-cannons because it makes me think of the Expanse. So
okay, gotcha,
you know,
sure.
With their space cannons, like
they also do a really good job of it, don't they?
It's so cool. Yeah, it's ace. Like, dealing with rapid decompression is not such of an issue, thankfully. Okay, I'm coming out again.
Great.
I usually have my my flight sticks like bound to my desk at home with like some of these nice mounts I've got. Don't have them here.
Yeah.
So it's quite exciting. I'm kind of wrestling
it's kind of like flopping around with you.
Yeah.
Gotcha. What kind of stick do you use, if I can ask?
This is just the X56. Which works great. Works absolutely fine.
Yeah, that's a great stick.
Yeah. How about you? Have you gone for something even more pro?
I've got the Warthog set up, the Thrustmaster one.
Yeah.
And so stick and throttle, and I use a set of pedals. And in fact, today I ordered another left-handed stick so that I can do dual stick and throttle.
Right.
And so, which I'm not ever, I've played with it a little bit before.
Yeah.
And I was on the fence for a long time to go ahead and try it. I decided last night it was time.
Dual stick for me makes a lot of sense. Personally, I think it sounds really interesting, a really interesting way of flying. I have rudder pedals, but they're so damn cheap that I hate using them.
Fair enough.
There are some really nice rudder pedals out there from Monster Tech, I think, are the people that I bought my mounts off of, which is really awesome German milled steel mounts and stuff. And they also do like custom flight sticks and also. I mean, you can spend all sorts of money on this sort of stuff, can't you?
Yes, you absolutely can, right? I have a set of VKB Sim. They're a Russian company pedals. And that's, in fact, the new stick that I just ordered is one of their sticks as well.
I imagine it's a little bit more robust than mine are like full plastic construction, and I have to like
these are all metal.
Yeah,
these are all metal, very high quality, very adjustable. I'm a very, very big fan of them.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay, so with chaff, it's chaff launchers, right? I'm getting.
That's right. That's right. That'll be under your utilities.
Mm-hmm. So that is one in there. Should I get 2, or do I need 2?
No, well, just one. So only one at a time.
Oh, of course,
right. So you can only do one right now. Yep. And for this, 2 actually is very effective in a lot of ways, because then you can really keep the chaff effect going. But
do they
for
break,
what we're doing,
do they break sensor lock? Or not?
They break gimbal lock, right?
Okay,
so they scramble the gimbal lock for, I believe it's 10 seconds, if I'm remembering right.
Okay.
It's actually 20. But yeah, they scramble the gimbals so that if somebody is using a fixed weapon, it won't matter. Like right now, one of the guys really is shooting railguns at me, which are fixed. So my chaff would do no good against him. But since most of the guys are starting with gimbals, it works rather well. And I'm using a dumbfire missile, which is pretty difficult to land shots.
I was gonna say, how it sounds so hard to land.
But when you do land shots with it, it is very devastating.
Is it like quite a quick missile then? Like how the hell are you even managing to pull it off?
It's pretty slow. You have to be pretty close, right? You want to be with like a weapon like it or plasma accelerators, you really, like right now I'm firing it at 1 kilometer, which is way too far. I really want to be 500 meters, like that. Come on, Rui, I'm going to get you. There we go. I got him. I didn't kill him yet, but I hit him at least. You also have to be careful with it because it's pretty easy to hit the station.
Oh, well, yeah, do they have much of a splash on them or not?
They do a little bit of splash, and Rui got my power plant as he's sub-targeting, so he took out my power plant module, so I lost all thrusters. So all of a sudden, I'm just a dead duck.
The sub-targeting is cool.
It's great, yeah.
Okay, let's get my hard points out. Time to die, Mango.
Oh, yeah, okay, so you're literally taking on one of the highest skilled pilots in the game right now.
That feels reasonable. I'm reloading.
Exactly.
He's gone!
There you go.
I just killed.
You got him! Awesome! That's fantastic. Oh, I'm gonna clip that, Mango. You're never gonna live that down, buddy.
It's your coaching, you know. Like that's what I put it down to. That's hilarious. Oh, my shields are offline. Okay, and now I embrace my inevitable death. But it's been a ride.
There you go. There you go. Hey.
Maybe I can hide behind this moon.
Yeah, I think that's a little far.
Okay, so I put to count. My shields are down. Like obviously, I need to evade. Do I put all my energy into systems to hope that my shields regenerate faster?
Great question. That's a great question. So yes and no. So as long as there is energy in your sys distributor, the amount of pips and shields don't matter. Okay?
Right, okay.
So they regenerate at the same rate so long as there's energy in that capacitor. Once it goes empty, then they would stop regenerating, okay? But a key thing to understand about pips, I'm assuming you've heard that term before.
That's what
we call the little...
Yep.
A key thing to understand is 4 pips in systems makes your shields 2.6 times stronger than no pips. Okay? So now with this, you don't have to worry too much because it's already so weak. It just doesn't make a huge difference. But if you're in real combat, if you're out in space and somebody attacks you, the first thing you want to do is get 4 pips in systems so that you've got as much defenses as you can get.
Okay.
Oh, and it looks like we just got a dead instance. So I literally only see you and I. Oh, no, there we go. People are popping in now. Okay, cool.
Shall I upgrade to some military grade composite?
That's a great one to do next. Sure. Yeah. I went for a better shield. I went for a bi-weave shield, but going for military grade is a great idea.
Okay, right. I'll do this, and then I'll do the shield next time. I need a bit more defensiveness. I also need to use my chaff more. Okay.
And one thing we'll also want to do here in a second, and I just made a really dumb mistake. The reason I couldn't see anybody, because I was being a moron paying attention to you, is I was over power. And so you generally aren't going to have to do your power plant until pretty late. But one of the things we'll want to do is go into your modules and turn off your cargo hatch.
Okay.
Stupidly, the cargo hatch uses a massive amount of energy. So hit your modules and just turn the cargo hatch off. Another quick thing I would do is turn off your frame shift drive as well. We're not going to be jumping. No reason to worry about it.
Okay, yeah, that's done.
You know, power in and of itself is a very complex thing, but for right now, that's really all we have to worry about. And so one of the things, you know, we were talking about your shields and your pips. One of the biggest piece of advice I give to new combat pilots is the more active you can be with those pips, with changing them, the better. So the difference in like a beginner pilot, most of the time you're just going to kind of set them and leave them there and you're going to change them a little bit, where an advanced pilot is literally going to be changing them every few seconds during combat.
And what kind of things am I looking to focus, like getting a maximum amount of my weapons, then immediately having to switch to something else if I need agility and stuff, I'm guessing, right? It's just
exactly. So having it where you need it when you need it, basically. And right now, don't worry about me, just shoot.
Yep. I've deployed some chaff then. Is there a way to force reload my multi-cannons, or do I just have to expend them?
No, you just wait. And when you expend them, they will automatically reload. Yep. There is engineering that would do that, but not with just a standard weapon. And I'm coming to help you. Coming to get Mango right now.
He wasn't
So
gonna.
be
He
sure-
couldn't live down another death. He had to respond.
Be sure
Or they-
as soon as you can fire that chaff again, when it's reloaded, that you're firing that. He is still using gimbals.
Okay.
You might have been his only death so far.
I do
And
feel.
then as we can, we want to make sure we stay as close to the station as we can, like in between fights, and paying attention.
Yeah, if I just
we're good
shot
now.
off into the distance, is that what's happened?
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. One thing, I'll give you another tip. You can kind of use the station for cover. Like if you get real close to the station, like Mango's doing right now, because if I accidentally shoot the station's going to kill me. By the way, one thing I didn't point out, guys, just to make sure everybody understands, there is no re-entering the station once you have left it. So you can't go back in and land and rearm if you were to live that long. Nothing like that. So once you've left the station, there's no going back in it.
Okay, I'm coming in for Mango again.
Awesome, awesome.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
chaffed.
that's who I'm on.
I could see I lost my lock straight away on the gimbals.
Yeah, you see how they scramble
Yeah.
when that happens. Okay, now you see that the station is killing somebody. So somebody, and we also have a rule
Oh, that might be me.
if the station kills you, you don't get to do an upgrade.
Right, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm dead. Yeah,
Yes,
that was me. That was me. He managed to...
Oh, what the-
I think
oh,
he
damn.
he tracked across the ship as I was tracking him. And yeah, I nailed him to the
Now, I
ship.
think we'll give you a pass. I say you get to that you get to do an upgrade anyway. Since you're the guest, and Mango
Thanks.
tricked you into that.
It was a cruel ruse.
Yes, exactly. He's pretty weak, so I might be able to get him back for you.
Oh man, yeah. I like this the system of starting small and like building on as well. This is quite a good way of learning like what upgrades you do to something to make it better and better and better. Because like before, I've gone, even for a new player, you can make quite a lot of money quite quickly if you know what you're doing. And I just instantly started buying bigger things with bigger hard points, and I don't think I really appreciated what I was doing. This is a good way of sort of learning a bit more about the basics before.
That is a bit of a problem that we have now that again, as you said, money is so easy, which is good and bad, right? I mean, the good is you can enjoy the game.
Yeah,
it's
do
not,
exactly what you want straight away. Yeah.
When I started 4 years ago, it took me a month to get to my first vulture,
Right.
which now you could literally have in a couple hours easily. And so yeah, making sure you don't skip the game and go straight to, the Anaconda. And there's times to use that. And I think as long as you go back and get an appreciation for the other, the other modules or the other ships. Okay. I think I'm going to do Hull now as well. Do Cherry Gray.
So I'm guessing
Yes.
you upgraded your shield generator, right? That's
I did, and I went for the bi-weave. Do you understand the difference between an A-rated and a bi-weave?
it's about how it handles thermal and kinetic damage differently. Is that right?
A little bit. It's more about the regeneration rate of it.
Oh, I see.
So
I see.
a standard shield is going to have more like overall base energy and be stronger, but it's going to regenerate much more slowly. And so because of that, the idea is in a fight, there's two ways to look at it. In a fight like this, you're going to lose your shields, and then if they regenerate quickly, you can get them back pretty quickly and recover them over and over and over again. Where an A-rated shield or the unlockable big shield, the prismatic shield, are much, much more slow to regenerate. So you probably would not get those back.
So it's about fighting style then, right? As in, if you're able to nip in and out of combat to get that shield back up, then great. But if you're having to do a full frontal assault where you just need to take those hits on your shields, then you probably don't want to buy weave for that.
Right,
Like,
that's right. So byweaves are great for things like bounty hunting. Hey, Psychic, where if you're going to be doing a fight and then you finish a fight and then you wait a couple minutes, 30 seconds, and have another fight, and so in between those times you have time for your shield to regenerate. That's when it's great.
Okay.
Where a byweave would not be as good would be, say, on a trade ship or an exploration ship where you're going to get attacked and you need to survive one very short encounter with as much shield as you can get for that very short amount of time.
Okay.
So in that case, you would want a standard A-rated shield instead.
So here's a question. What do shield cell banks do? So you've got shield generators here, and what do shield cell banks do next to them?
So shield cell banks take a massive amount of energy and dump it into your shields all at once, or over a 6-second period. And so the catch there, the thing that's important, is your shields must be up for that to work. Right. So if your shields go offline, you have to wait till they've regenerated to they're at least back online, and then once you hit the cell bank, it will then take a massive amount of that energy, dump it back into the shield to recover them. They're very, very popular, specifically in any sort of high tier combat. They are fairly difficult to use. They're the main issue.
So you've got to time it just before you lose your shields completely, right?
That's right.
Right. Okay.
That's right. And not only that, they generate a lot of heat. So generally, you need to use them with a heat sink.
Yeah.
Okay. So you would need both. Now, there's ways around that with engineering, but without engineering, you're going to need to prepare for that. So that you generally would pop a heat sink. I count to 2, and then pop a cell bank, and then that's generally the best way to do it.
Okay.
But for this, I've used them in the past for these events, but usually, certainly in the Sidewinder, we don't have enough power for them.
Yeah.
Because they're very power hungry.
Right. Yeah, I was looking then through some of the shield options and stuff, and like I can already see I don't have enough power for certain systems.
Yeah.
But that's the limitation of a smaller ship, right?
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
You have a smaller power.
Well, and you also play to the strengths of the different ships, and usually the small class ships, specifically the ones we're going to fly today, the Sidewinder, Eagle, and Viper, those tend to work better as hull tanks versus shield tanks. And for hull tanks, you're generally doing a byweave, and then you're usually not doing cell banks, and instead you're going to do maybe extra hull, which is what I'm about to add to my ship. Is some more hull. It seems like you're doing pretty well. You're certainly not dying quickly.
I'm spending most of it looking at hard points. That's why I'm not going out too quick.
Fine.
But
that's fine.
I'm getting around. I'm doing okay. It's
the cool thing about this is you can learn. You can go at your own pace, so to speak. There's no risk. There's no. It doesn't cost you anything. You could literally do this your second day playing the game. If you can get to the system, that's the only catch. And now that we have fleet carriers, it's easy enough to just go get somebody, right, and bring them here.
And also just kind of form a community around, right? To be like, hey, we can all dock on this. We can all stay here. Uh-oh, I'm taking some hits.
Then you might put 4 pips in. You might switch your pips to 402 so that you still have some in weapons, but you're full pips into shields. I'm going to try to come help you. If I can. I think you've got 2 people on you. I'm going to take one of them. Let's see who your 2 attackers are. We'll do a little ganging up here. I think that's fair enough. Streamers versus everybody.
So many people are using the goddamn station as cover. Right, there we go. He's in the open. I'm lighting him up.
It's a smart tactic. There's a reason for it. Switch to your target. There we go. Let's see if I can get a missile on him. Got one of them. Missed the second one.
You hit one of them with a missile.
Yeah. I'm trying to land the other. I'm a little far away. Okay, I'm 1.5 kilometers. It looks like he broke off a little bit. Go. Yeah, again, they're pretty tough to land, but when you do, boy, do they do damage. And then in the final round, if we get to do Vipers, whoop, and I just tagged the station, not paying attention. If you I slammed into the station. If we get to Vipers, those can use plasma accelerators, which are that much more advanced.
Is that a weapon?
Probably. That is a weapon, yeah.
Right.
They come in only medium, large, and huge classes, and they're very, very high skill. They have the projectile moves at a very slow rate, so it's very difficult to land shots with them. And they generate a lot of heat. They take a lot of power, so you have to shoot rather slowly because of that. Rui, is that you shooting at me? I feel a railgun. You can, if you feel something kind of knocking you around, that's usually a railgun. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, and he got my power plant. Oh no, it was not. It was just my beam laser.
I'm on Mango again. He's making a run for it.
All right, hold on. I'm coming to you. Get him. Get
Oh,
nice.
He's gone.
Fantastic. Mango, you're falling down on the job, buddy.
Poor guy. I presume it's a guy.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's fun. It's kind of nice having the station nearby that you can sneak off behind and regen. I'm not gonna lie.
Absolutely.
That's kind of what I've been doing a bit of. I'm like fly real close to the station, regen a bit.
That's great.
Okay.
And it's funny, if you've noticed, you'll get warnings from the station that, if you hit somebody or something, it's like, I think that we're doing worse than just banging into each other right now. You're warning me to back. Oh, there we go. My next death.
What was that? Oh man, I think a missile almost hit someone, then got detonated really close by maybe a counter.
Oh, that's awesome.
It looked really cool.
The station, if you're too close to the station, their defenses will shoot down missiles if you're close to it. So it could be that.
Oh, I've just clattered into it.
I just glanced over at your stream and I saw you grip it.
Why can't I get off of it? Right. Power down. What's going on here?
Are you stuck in it? Try to boost and see if you can get free. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm watching your screen. It's like it's glitched in some way. We might just have to have somebody kill you. You might literally just be stuck.
Put me out of my misery.
Deploy your landing gear and retract them. Sometimes that will unstick you.
Okay, landing gear deployed. No, I seem like I may be stuck in this thing. I'm gonna say I'm stuck in its gravity well. But
it kind of looks like it. I'm not. So we can do the quick way. Do you know how to self-destruct? You can not give don't give somebody the satisfaction. Go ahead and self-destruct yourself.
Okay.
Wait a minute. I'm seeing that you're maybe at full reverse thruster. Okay, no. It's hard to tell what's going on from looking at your thrusters.
I'm trying to power off of it, but yeah, I will. Is these guys trying to nudge me off? Oh.
No, I think they probably are.
That's it. We got it. We did it. We're free.
Okay, great. Perfect. There.
Excellent job,
There's
everybody.
a little bit of delay. Me, obviously, watching.
Hilarious.
Okay.
Right. Well,
hey, community effort, right?
Yeah, it's a community effort. We saved me, guys. It's like Apollo 13 all over again.
Yeah, totally. So why don't we say for this round we're going to go roughly 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
So we'll go to 1750 game time.
Okay. And then what? We'll change ships or something.
And then we'll change ships. Yeah. Then we'll change to the Eagle.
Oh, nice.
I set us a timer so I won't forget. Again, I want to thank you for having me today. This is a ton of fun. I've been looking forward to this.
Thank you very much. It's very enjoyable to play. It's a great little idea. I love it. I mainly end up playing mini games on all games I play. I find like when you make your own fun in something it's just quite fun, isn't it? Admittedly, most of the time for me, it's things like Dota 2 mini games and things like that. But
okay, so by the way, we we do have a human Corvette here, which is clearly not what we're doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, he doesn't have his hard points out. I don't recognize him. So we'll just pay attention and see if we need to do anything. Hopefully he's going to be cool and we won't have to worry about it. We'll just have to pay attention.
I'm stuck in the station again. I'm going to blow myself up on this one. I think this is impressive.
Yeah, you know what? You are. You're getting. Oh, there you go. Looks like you popped free.
Am I all right?
It looks like it to me.
Oh, it knows. Yeah, it knows. It knows that I was about to blow myself up and sets me free.
Yeah, exactly. Let's stay more in the front, so we don't have to worry about that.
The front.
I see you winking in. Hey, Bob, if you're running defense for us, that'd be awesome. You know, don't mind having the vet here, obviously. Maniac, if you're having trouble, I can get you. I just happened to see your message. I can get you in a wing.
Okay, I'm gonna turn the night vision on. Good idea, everybody.
Yeah, I've been using that too.
Night vision is on. We can see the ship. Excellent.
I'm gonna hit the station with that missile, I think.
Just slowly watching it sail into the...
I hit the station with the missile. It's about to kill me. It's about to kill me.
Oh, I'm taking big hits. I've just realized. Oh no, my shields!
Don't forget your chaff. Don't forget your chaff.
Yeah. Chaff's fired away. So we're gonna hide behind the back of this.
Yeah, we were saying like Elite is that game where you basically have to make your own fun, right? Mm-hmm. And so one night, literally a couple years ago, about 4 or 5 of us were playing, and I thought, hey, what if we did this with Sidewinders? And we did, and we had a ton of fun. And about, I don't know, 6-8 months ago, I put the idea on my YouTube channel and said, hey guys, why don't we start doing this on a weekly basis? And people really seem to enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a good little like mechanic about how, like, you know, if you're losing a lot, you get more modules. So it's the self-balancing of it is quite nice, isn't it?
Yeah, because you know, again, you don't, you know, if you're new to combat and you're worried, oh boy, I've got everybody shooting at me. Oh, there goes my thrusters. I'm sitting duck now.
Oh, no when a person is purple on a HUD, what does that mean?
That means, okay, so that's a great question. That means when you're in a wing, and that means I have done some damage to them, but you haven't yet. So it's great that when you're in a wing fight, you can know who your wingmate, there's another way where you can actually, with a hotkey, you can target your wingmate's target, but it's also a way just to visually know, okay, my wingmate has shot at them and I haven't yet.
Nice. That's good. That's good to know. Yeah, because I thought it meant that they were part of our wing, and I was like, well, I can see you. Maybe it's part of a sub menu or something like that. But no, that's. But yeah, key
30
bindings.
seconds, by the way.
Key bindings make your life a lot easier, right?
They do. They do.
Learning key bindings, of which there are many.
And so if you. Oh my gosh! Like I think once I was working on a video about keybinds. There are over 500 individual keybinds.
That's a lot. That's a lot of keybinds.
It's pretty nuts. Okay, so we're gonna call the round here in 5 seconds. Here we go. Round over. Hold fire. Okay, and then here's how we score this. And it's kind of goofy because, you know, it's really just for fun. But the way we score it is when you'll land here in a second. So here's what you can do, Smithy. Since you just took off and now we need to land I'll show you do you know how to fast travel back to the pad?
No.
Pretty easy. Deploy your hard points and fire at the station. And that'll fast travel you right back to the pad.
Oh, you mean it's just going to blow me up, right? Yeah,
exactly.
I was like, what is this feature you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a joke.
Blow me apart.
And so the thinking is whoever did the least amount of upgrades, you know, died the least, arguably, and would quote unquote win. So what you'll do is once you respawn, look on your right panel and see what your rebuy is. And then whomever has the lowest rebuy wins. And so, guys, everybody listening, if you'll put your rebuys in the live streaming channel in the Discord, we'll just kind of see who won.
I hit 8,865.
Ooh, that's pretty damn low. Okay. All right. You didn't upgrade much, but you beat me. I did 20,000, 11, 12.
I think I may have been moving at a slightly slower pace than you in terms of upgrades, but thank you.
Well, and that's why you can't really, that's why you can't really say who won and who didn't. It's just all in kind of good fun.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Mango had 88.67, but he doesn't have the beta discount, so his rebuy is lower anyway. And what was yours again?
8,800, I believe.
Oh, you beat Mango. You beat Mango. That's awesome. Mango, he just crushed you, man. I don't know what to say.
I know. It's just being this good is hard, I guess. Like,
excellent. Boy, you fit in with this group perfectly with that attitude.
They certainly make it look hard.
Sure. So for the next round, we're going to switch to the Eagle. This gives us much more maneuverability, a little bit stronger hull, and 3 hard points this time. Now, we'll start with just 2, but we'll have a third we can add, and we're going to start with fixed weapons. And by the way, everybody must stay with the fixed weapons. You can, just like before, go ahead and remove the modules you don't want, and more importantly, you can add the A-rated distributor.
So starting with a distributor and start with the 2. So it only starts with 2 installed fixed hard points, right?
That's correct. So now one thing you can't do if you're kind of anal retentive like I am, it'll start with 1 on the top and 1 on the bottom. I generally, because it just annoys me, I take the one from the top and move it to the bottom. But that's just me, because I like the way the hard points line up better that way. But you do not have to do that.
No, I can't.
And if you've not done that before, I can show you how to do that, because you'll select the weapon and choose swap instead of and then it'll give you the free slot to swap it to. So pick the one that's on top and then swap it down to the bottom.
This is one of my favorite looking ships in the game, I think.
I completely agree.
I really like it.
Yes. I agree. The Imperial Eagle, the one that has kind of the nacelles on the wings, I actually think that's the best looking ship in the game, in my opinion. In fact, I'd be curious if my chat, I don't know if your chat wants to chime in, what everybody's favorite ship is in terms of look, just visually. Okay, I'm going to launch out. By the way, if you move those hard points, make sure you rebind them to a fire group, because it will unbind from a fire group.
So we're getting 2A on the power distributor, I'm guessing, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like we've got some fun. Okay, Cement's in the station. Wing Commander Bob. I think Bob's being cool, Cement. He messaged me, and so I think he's being cool, so I don't think we have anything to worry about. And I appreciate that, by the way, Bob. I think he might, he's in Discord with us. We actually, just a very brief story, on my stream Tuesday night, we had a cheater join us. Somebody that was using the quote-unquote trainer, the cheat tool, had unlimited shields. And not only did we catch him, he then came into voice and admitted it, kind of half apologizing. And I take that very seriously in the game, because for a while there, about a year ago, cheating really, really hurt the game quite a lot. And it seems that he's already been banned. So,
well, there we go. So the circle of life.
Yeah. And this wasn't something you do accidental. The guy was triple elite. He was a veteran player. So
why would you do that? Why would they get their account banned?
It's a great question. It was even more surprising that he would literally come into voice and admit it, so that when I reported to Frontier, here's him, because a lot of times it might be hard to prove, and Frontier takes a very cautious approach to give the player the benefit of the doubt, which I think is fair. But in this case, literally the guy came in and said, "Yep, that was me, my bad. I was using the trainer," and we were just like, okay. So fortunately, it is very rare that we see that. So. Okay, everybody. So why don't we do this? Everybody, get ready to go. Why don't we start at 17:58? So here in just under 2 minutes.
Excellent. So
actually, why don't we start at 17:57? You're ready to go.
Yeah.
So let's start at 17:57. Yeah, we don't need to wait that long.
So a couple of people say they like the Cobra, the Clipper, the Crate Mark II, which I remember really liking as well. The Imperial Cutter as well, which I feel looks a little bit like the Eagle in some respects, right?
Very similar. Yeah, they're all the Imperial ships, so they're all from the same manufacturer, so they do look very similar.
They look more like planes, I guess. They're like fighter jets in some, like,
Agreed.
Like,
Agreed. Yeah, I've got Chieftain, and I do think the Alliance ships look very good as well. Trying to think. I think that's...
I think this might be an unpopular opinion, but I really like the Type 9 as well. Like,
you know what? I actually think it's great too. And by the way,
cool. It's gigantic. It's like a big dude with huge shoulders, you know?
And by the way, we're going. Everybody open fire. Go.
Right, okay.
Say go. I actually really enjoy the Type 9 for trade missions. It is one of my favorite ships. I play in VR quite a lot, and the view in VR, it's like sitting in an apartment building. It's so massive.
Oh yeah. The cockpit area and stuff. It's like 20 foot high. Yeah. No, I love that. Yeah.
Have you ever gotten to play the game in VR?
Yeah, it's amazing.
It really is.
It's my favorite VR game. Like, in terms of, it's just awesome. It works perfectly. I guess the only reason I don't do it is just like prolonged comfort a lot of the time, you know.
Fair enough. Yeah.
But yeah, goddamn, this game is so good in VR.
Yeah, the way I generally describe it. By the way, are we PG-13 on you guys' channel?
No, you can say whatever you like.
Okay. So the simple way I say it is, in 2D, Elite is a very pretty, fun space video game. In VR, you're flying a fucking spaceship.
Yeah, it's so cool.
You're not playing a game. You're sitting in a fucking spaceship. Like, it's that big a difference.
Yeah, and like when you see like the planetary bodies as well, like when you look up and you see like a sun,
scale.
Like exactly. The scale is so good in VR. Like, I'm looking forward to the day where I can take it on and off like my glasses, you know, like a light pair of glasses, because that's the only thing holding it back. Really, is just I can play this game for a lot longer without VR on than I can with, you know, basically.
Agreed. You know, like once I started my YouTube channel a couple years ago, I used to, up before that, I played 70-80% in VR. I play quite a bit less now because if I'm filming things or if I'm streaming, you know, I don't want to stream in VR because it's just so hard for people to watch. But when I do get to play in VR, it kind of is a real treat now.
Sure.
Right? And if you've died already,
I just died.
Man, your choice. So chaff is not going to be as good a choice this time because nobody's running gimbals, at least not yet. If you want to do weapons, you could go with another weapon. You could go with a gimbaled multi-cannon if you wanted to. If you wanted to try something a little higher skill, you could try a dumbfire missile rack.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's give it a go.
Yeah, I think I would say now the biggest advice there is try to make sure you're under 1 kilometer before you fire it.
Okay.
Right? Be nice and close. And that's going to be I think that's going to be do you the best.
Oh man, awesome. Okay, that looks really cool. I need to set my hard points. Okay, set my fire group.
Yeah, be sure to bind that one. Yep. Also, again, be sure to turn off. Well, it's probably easier because sometimes it'll turn back on. Set your cargo hatch and your frame shift drive to power 4.
Okay. Does that just put it on a different? Oh, that's the lowest priority ever, right?
The lower priorities will turn off if necessary, and the higher ones will stay on. Right? Power gets pretty complicated, and so for today we won't get into that. The simple thing is, as long as you have it on a lower one, since you don't need those modules, they'll just power off when needed.
Okay. And
one of the embarrassing things you can do is if you forget to set your power priorities, you deploy your hard points, and if you're overpower, your shields drop immediately. So it's like you pull out your guns and drop your pants.
Yeah,
right?
I've had that happen before. So why exactly is that happening?
Yeah, so let's say with everything, with your hard points deployed and all of your power is 101% of what your generator can generate. Well, if you try to use 101%, things are going to power off because you can't support everything. And if your shields power off, they go to 0, and now you have to wait for them to charge back up.
Right, okay. And so that's why we look at the retracted and deployed segment of the power consumption at the bottom.
Exactly correct. That's exactly correct. Right. Because when something's not deployed, it's not for weapons, it's not using power. Right.
Okay.
So you can run ships with, you can run at 110% sometimes. If it's an exploration ship where you're literally turning things on and off, you can run at very high, like you could run at 150% power.
Right.
Because, for example, you need your SRV when you're flying around.
I see. Oh, right. Okay, that makes a lot more sense to me now. Like, because I've done the main thing I've done in this game is exploration, a bit of mining, and quite a lot of trading. That was kind of, and that's why the Type 9, like you were saying, I was using the Type 9 for trading and things like that. And so for me, like, fuel scooping, detail scanner, surface scanners, all those sort of things are what I was using a lot of. And I would have power issues. So I didn't really think, turn the modules off or prioritize power different things. It's a good point.
Yep. You can just manually turn them on and off, but prioritization is the best way to do it, because then you just let the ship do it for you whenever it's necessary.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Let it do the work.
Exactly, right? And not to really plug myself here or anything, but I do have tutorials on my channel that cover all of these topics. That's really the type of stuff I focus on my channel, is how to play the game. The goal with my videos is always to be as brief and concise as to the point, so that my philosophy has always been, you don't want to watch me talk about Elite, you want to play Elite. So I try to be as clear and concise as I can be, and I've got one that covers exactly this topic.
Well, that sounds very good. No, plug away. Honestly, you've gone to the effort to making them all. I said, I watched yours, the one you linked about the Sidewinder slaughter, and it was very useful. Definitely.
Have you unlocked the Guardian frameshift drive booster yet?
I doubt it.
Okay, that's one for the future that I would recommend. That's usually the first thing that I would recommend to someone that's got the playtime you have, because that will add up to 10 light years of jump range to any ship that you put it on.
And is that, do you have to do a couple of quests to get that? Or
there's one quest kind of that you do, right? I know you and Malik went out to a Thargoid site. Yep. This, you go to a Guardian site and do a puzzle there. And again, my most viewed video is how to unlock that. For most people, it takes about 90 minutes. Okay. And, it's the kind of thing where if you were ever, just playing, offline kind of thing, and certainly if you ever wanted to help or had a question, you're obviously always welcome to ask me. It's a good thing. It can be something that's good to take a friend to help you do. Right. You can certainly do it solo, but you also can have a friend join you to help you, because you will be attacked by these little things called sentinels while you're in your SRV. And having a friend be in a ship floating above you to kill the sentinels for you or help you can be really, really helpful.
Nice. Yeah. When Malik was showing me, he also showed me, is it a pulsar or a binary star where you can supercharge your jump?
A neutron star. Yeah.
Star, that's it. Yeah.
White dwarfs can do it too, but really it's neutrons.
Yeah, and the way that if you get it just right, it just charges your jump drive to give you
4 times
crazy distance, and it's just really cool. Really interesting.
Yeah, in fact, so I'm assuming you're familiar now with Sagittarius A star, the black hole in the center of the galaxy. Yeah. That's 26,000 light years away. And then there's a system called Colonia. Have you heard of Colonia yet?
Yeah. Is it meant to be Earth? Or is it meant to be Earth?
Colonia is kind of like our second colonized part of space. Right. So the short version of the lore is this station was going to jump out to Beagle Point, which is literally the furthest you can go, and it malfunctioned, and so it accidentally jumped to what's now called Colonia. And when the Thargoids attacked, a group of humans retreated out to Colonia.
Right. Okay.
Well, it's about 21,000 light years away. And recently I hosted a speed run competition, and the record to get there by using neutrons, so going 21,000 light years, was an hour and 15 minutes.
21,000 light years in an hour and 15. So what's the average jump range of like a ship, let's say, is 10 to 20 light years? Are we saying, like, you know, with unengineered?
Yeah, that's probably a fair way to say it. Probably more like 15 to 25 if you factor in all the ships.
Okay, so let's say 20. So let's say what it takes 30 seconds to do a jump. So maybe less, maybe more.
Roughly.
So
now remember,
you did 21,000 light years in distance.
Right. And so, but you got to remember, so these ships are going to be highly engineered.
Yeah.
So when I did this, my personal record is an hour and 50 minutes. And I used an Anaconda that has an 84 light year jump range.
Pretty far.
It's the max. In fact, the maximum in the game is 84.17, and that's what I use.
Yeah.
And then when you do neutron boosts, which quadruple that, right? So you're literally doing as much as 360 light years per jump.
Okay.
Right.
That's a long way.
There are tools out there that will plot those. It's called a neutron router that will plot that for you and tell you, here's all of the neutrons that between these 2 points, and there you go.
I mean, there's a lot to do, isn't there? There's a lot of depth. I've just made the decision to change one of my lasers for another rack of dumbfire missiles to see if I can get lucky.
Okay.
Saturate the area with rockets, missiles around.
If you're using them, and 2 especially. If you could land 2 at a time, that's about the highest damage that you can get for what we're doing right now.
Let's do this.
All right, psych it. Oh, she got me. I think she got me. Psych it's another Twitch streamer in our little group with Frontier.
Nice.
Yep, Psychic got the kill. Nice, Psychic. And so, yeah, that's why the FSD booster is such a great module, because you take something like, you just said your average is going to be, when you're unengineered, you can get a Diamondback Explorer to say 35 light years pretty easily without engineering. Well, all of a sudden it's 45 light years.
Right,
which
from
is
getting this Guardian drive, right?
Exactly, right. Another thing that I genuinely recommend to new players, and remind me next time you die and you're landed, and I'll show you where to do this, is to pledge to one of the power play powers. So the big superpowers that maybe you've seen a little bit of, the names like there's Leon Rhee and Ashley Duvall and Zachary Hudson and people like this. And they give you these special upgraded modules that you can only get from them. It takes a month to unlock each one of them. At the end of that month, it's very easy. You do one cargo mission where you carry 750 tons of cargo one time, and that unlocks them. And this is something like I can give you some details on later. But because it takes a month to unlock them, I say this all the time on my streams: if you're not pledged, you're just wasting time.
Okay. So choose any of them in particular you want to choose?
No. Yeah, there's a couple specific ones. Because you're more about trade and exploration, how many credits do you have roughly?
500 million.
Okay, great. You're perfect then. I would generally recommend the prismatic shields. Those are much stronger. They're the strongest shields that are available in the game. Mm-hmm. And because of that, you can, on something like an exploration or a trade ship, you can run a smaller shield, but by running a prismatic, you actually get more strength out of it, even though it's smaller.
Okay.
Right? So in short,
why is that?
Well, let's say you're exploring and you might slam into a planet. Let's say you're trading and you get attacked by a pirate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so you want defenses. I always suggest running shields. In my opinion, you really don't ever want to not be running shields. And so then that way, let's say on a Type 9, for example, you run you could run a Class 8 shield. That's the biggest module, but that would be kind of silly because that takes up so much cargo space, right? So instead, you run a Class 5 shield, which is the smallest you can run on that. Well, a prismatic is the same specifications as the next largest slot. So a Class 5 prismatic is the same specs as a Class 6 regular shield. Right? Okay. So you get benefits of a better. 6. It's that much better, right? So it's again, it's there's no reason to not use it because it's the same size. It does weigh a little more, but generally that's not a big concern. And you get that much more shields out of it. For example, the Type 9 build that I run, and a lot of my exploration builds are, I'm not going to call it unkillable, but it's all but unkillable.
So you're just all about the defense and stuff.
Exactly. It's all about being defensive, so that if you're, and I'm a big fan, like we're doing now, of playing in open, and that way if you get attacked when you're playing in open, you can generally, if you know what you're doing, you can survive those attacks.
Okay. Yeah.
And proper defenses, proper outfitting is a big part of that.
Yeah. I did look a little bit into defensive outfitting when I was doing, like I say, the big running. Like I was doing passenger runs and all sorts of stuff like that as well. And it did pay. I often had like a little turret or something on board just to irritate little AI. Like sometimes we go through places and you have some really weak AI, and you kind of still want like a little something to just deal with them. Because if you don't have anything at all, eventually they're going to get through your shields, right? Do you run weapons or?
It depends. So usually on a trading ship, I honestly don't bother because usually even like you're just not going to be able to do enough damage, and you're risking, if you've got a lot of cargo on board, especially if you're mining and you've got all that cargo, you're risking losing it. And I think that's too big of a risk to try to fight back where you're almost certainly not going to win the fight anyway.
So my running then.
Exactly. You want to have proper defenses so that they attack you, you can survive, you can then high weight to another system, and you can escape rather than trying to fight back. Now, in some of my taxis, like if it's what I call a taxi ship where I'm just flying from system to system kind of thing, I will run weapons and strong shields on those so that if somebody has a go at me, I'm not carrying cargo. If I die, it's no big deal. And sure, I'll fight back because why not?
Yeah, and you give yourself a sort of fighting chance by having some
exactly
stuff.
Exactly. It's just fun. Or if you're using a mining ship and you're using something big, like even if you were going to use a Corvette or a cutter or an Anaconda, why wouldn't you put weapons on it? Because that way you don't need all those hard points for mining. And so that way if an NPC or even a human were to attack you, you don't have to just run away.
Right.
You can fight back. So it's kind of all about the situation, what the ship is for, those sorts of things. But I think that certainly if you're ever attacked by a player, all you want to care about is escaping. You don't want to try to fight back because being blunt, you're going to lose.
I've been there before. Right. I've been like, okay, right, let's do this. I can do this. And just instantly just blown out of the sky. I'm like, what even just happened?
That's right. That's right. The difference, it's kind of so unbalanced, the difference in a combat engineered PvP ship and anything that's not that, you just absolutely don't stand a chance. I literally, with my engineered Sidewinder, have defeated cutters and Corvettes with it. Anacondas, Pythons, because if they're not set up for combat and they can't even deal with, a Sidewinder because of how maneuverable it is, how hard it's to hit, and the weapons I might have on it, then yeah, they're kind of no match for it, so to speak.
Is that why you want to pack like a fighter or something then in those situations, or do you think fighters are still not sufficient?
Yes, and I think that the problem with any of that kind of thing is if you take the time to deploy your fighter and try to get it engaged in that amount of time, you are probably going to die.
Yeah.
Right. If you're in a standard unengineered ship and an engineered ship attacks you, you maybe are going to survive for 20 or 30 seconds. And so, again, if you're carrying valuable cargo, it makes a lot more sense to just do your best to escape that encounter than it is to try in vain to fight back.
I got you. Sorry, I'm desperately trying to land these dumbfire missiles. I got a kill off of one of them a second ago, which was quite satisfying. But it is quite fun using the dumbfire missiles, isn't it?
They really are, aren't they?
Yeah.
You just want to be nice and close with them as you're kind of seeing.
Yeah.
You know, lead your reticle. There we go. Just got myself a kill. All right. All right. I'm going to engage your target. Oh, he's engaging me already. Ramming can be a somewhat effective tactic. I've got pretty strong hull right now.
What's the difference between a torpedo and a missile in this game?
Great question. So torpedoes are incredibly powerful, but they have some very significant negatives. First of all, they have a 1 kilometer arming distance, so you have to fire them 1 kilometer away.
Right.
And they only fly at 250 meters per second. So they're extremely slow. Where a normal missile, I believe somebody might correct me if I'm wrong, is 650 meters a second.
Okay.
Now, they can be very devastating because they when they're engineered, because they have very special effects for them. One of them is what's called reverb cascade, and that effect will destroy the shield generator, the module itself. Okay, so imagine each of your modules has integrity. All right, once a module's integrity reaches 0, that module stops functioning. Oh, I think you just got killed. I'm gonna try to get revenge for you. And so, by the way, once you respawn, let me kill this guy, and I'm going to show you how to pledge to power play.
Okay.
In fact, I'm just going to stop for a second so I can give you a hand with this once you respawn. And I died anyway, so perfect timing. So once you're in your cockpit, look at your right panel, and you'll see something that says Galactic Powers.
Over here, yep.
Yep, click on Galactic Powers. And we talked about before, we want the prismatic shields. Those are from Aisling Duval, which is being blunt, the hot blue-headed chick.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
pick her, yep. And then at the very bottom, you'll see Pledge Allegiance.
What am I looking at here? So their ethos, like the kind of way they behave on the map, right?
Yeah, well, kind of. You're looking at there's a lot of really complex stuff in here. Power play is actually one of the deepest and most complex parts of the game. It's one of the parts of the game that I don't really know everything about. So what you're looking on this first screen is just kind of about her, the benefits of being pledged to her, and the different things that you can earn. On the pledge screen, if you go back to that, you'll see that at rank 3, it unlocks prismatic shields. Okay. And the way that works is you have to have been pledged for 4 weeks, and you have to have earned 750 merits. And then once those 2 criteria happen, and after the stream, I'll send you a couple things about this, right? Because you don't have to worry about anything for 4 weeks. Once that happens, for 1 week, that module is unlocked. You want to buy as many as you're kind of ever going to need. Again, I can give you some tips later. You throw them in storage, and then you move on to the next power that you want to get the module, right? And that's what we call module shopping. Now, you could get into the role-playing aspect and pick a power that you stay with forever, and you live in their home space, and you expand them, and that's like the political aspect of the game that gets really complicated.
Okay, so how do I get merits?
So there's 2 ways. The easy way is to deliver cargo. I think I outfit. I was talking to you. I don't know if I outfit, so I'm just not going to worry about it. Soon I did. There's 2 ways you can carry cargo. Essentially, you go to her home station, you pick up cargo, and then you take it to a very specific other station. Again, those rules are kind of complex to explain here today. Or you can go do combat, where you go attack her enemies, and each enemy that you kill, you get 30 merits. And so combat's a lot more fun, but it takes a lot longer. Right. With cargo hauling, you can do 1 trip in a Type 9 because you can carry 750 tons at once. You can get that done in about an hour. With combat, it's probably in a non-engineered ship, it might be as much as 3 or 4 hours. So it's because you've got to kill 250 targets, or that's not right, 25 targets. Anyway, you've got to kill enough to get 750 merits. I'm not doing math hard right now. Yeah. And so once you do that, again, it's unlocked for that 1 week. And then for most of us like me, they're module shoppers. We then move on to the next module. And there's everything. There's a bunch of weapons as most of them. Another one that might be a good fit for you is a mining laser called the Mining Lance.
Right. Okay.
And what's great about it is standard mining lasers only have 500 meters of range, where the Mining Lance has 2 kilometers.
Oh wow! So you can just stand back and blast, and then
Exactly. Right.
But then, if I'm doing deep core mining, then I guess it's not quite as relevant.
Correct. It would not be. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. But then there's other weapons. My favorites are, like, if you didn't have enough credits, or, like, because the prismatic shields are very expensive. If you didn't have very many credits, I would probably suggest Pack-Hound missiles. That's a missile rack that fires a little barrage of 4 mini missiles that all take a drunk trajectory to the target. So they take this crazy scrambled trajectory.
Fun.
And they're a blast, right? They're very overpowered, so the PvP community bans them in tournaments and consensual PvP because they're unstoppable. There's no way to defend against them. And then there's a shotgun called the pacifier frag cannon. There's a railgun that fires a triple shot when you pull the trigger, so it's bam, bam, bam instead of one.
That sounds very cool.
That's fun. So there's a lot of really cool modules. It's just, again, since it takes a month to unlock them, and anybody that's listening, if you're playing Elite Dangerous and you're not pledged to a power, you're doing it wrong. The one thing to point out to you, just to make sure you understand, now you're going to see, and we're in a system that's fine, but in the bottom right-hand corner, you're going to start seeing hostile. Okay? And you're going to wonder, oh crap, what did Exigeous just do to me? What does this mean? Well, you know what I also just realized? We allowed 2 upgrades. We'll finish this round with just 1 upgrade, and we'll do Vipers for 2. We're supposed to allow 2 upgrades in the second round, and I totally forgot because we're talking so much.
I've done like 4 or 5 now.
But no, we're allowed 2 upgrades each time you die.
Oh, I see. Right, okay.
Just 1, right? And I totally forgot. Yeah. So we'll just stay with 1, everybody, because I forgot to say that. And so, anyway, shit, where was I? What were we talking? Merits.
Shooting, seeing hostile in the bottom left.
So that's right. So hostile means, like, you're now pledged to Ashley Duvall. If you're in, say, I'm making another one called Leon Ree. If you're in Leon Ree space, you will be hostile to that power. The ramifications of that are essentially nothing. You might get interdicted a little more often, but an NPC will not attack you unprovoked, so there's nothing for you to really worry about. When you see that hostile, don't worry, don't freak out about it. I do have a video that explains this in a little more depth, but don't worry about it for right now is the short version.
Okay, yeah, it does sound pretty serious, doesn't it? It sounds like you're just killed on sight.
It does. It sounds like, oh my God, I'm hostile. What are they going to do to me kind of thing. But it's not something to be worried about. Why don't we cut this one at 1825? So in just over a minute, we'll finish this round and we'll go to the Viper, and we'll go to 2 upgrades for that round.
Okay, cool.
And by the way, chat, forgive me. I usually try to really engage with my chat during streams, and it's very rare that I just play and don't actually pay attention to the chat and let them ask questions. Forgive me, guys. I think everybody obviously gets, what we're doing is a little different today.
Yeah, for sure. No, we're the same. It's like reading out donations and things like that as well. We tend to take breaks and things like that.
I've seen a couple super chats come through on mine, but I just couldn't, right now I just can't address them, guys. I appreciate them, the ones that I've seen. Thanks, guys. It's just right now it's a little hard to do. So right now I just got my power plant taken out. Oh, you crashed.
Yeah,
oh, no.
I'm restarting now.
All right. Well, we'll get you back in. I'm dead in the water. They took out my thrusters. Let me see. Yeah, so my thrusters, earlier we were talking about shields. Yeah, I want to explain that real quick about going to 0%. So when a module goes to 0%, it stops working because you were asking about torpedoes. So there's an effect for the torpedo called a reverb cascade. And whenever you hit a ship with that, it does roughly, just simple terms here, 20% damage to the actual shield generator. So if I land 5 of those, your generator goes to 0%, and even if your shields are at 99% strength, instantly they go to 0.
So how is it penetrating the shields to do that damage?
So it's essentially when it hits the shield, it transfers the energy through the shield into the generator.
Oh,
That's the whole explanation, right?
Which weapon is this you're talking about?
That's there's a couple weapons that do this. The mine launcher can do it, and the torpedo launcher can do it.
I see.
But it has to be engineered for it, and it is very difficult to use. And if the person you're shooting at knows what they're doing, you're not going to land the shot, right? And it doesn't work at all against NPCs. So it's a very, very advanced module. And so unfortunately, the answer is torpedoes suck. Don't even bother.
Right, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the short version.
Now, would they work on, like, you know, say you're assaulting a carrier? Because they're large, slow objects, that's kind of what you want, right? No?
No. Well, you're thinking yes. So carriers are just like a station. And by the way, everybody, let's go ahead and switch into the Viper 3. That's going to be our next ship. So go ahead and just like before, you're welcome to upgrade the distributor, right? Just like we did. And just the last thing, it's going to put the 2 small pulse lasers on the medium slots. I go ahead and move them to the small slots.
This is the Viper Mark III we're getting now, right?
The Viper Mark III, right? Yep, that's right. Viper Mark III, everyone. Let me put that in chat. Okay, so back to what I was saying, right? So carriers act just like stations, so there's no way to do combat with them. If you were to shoot at a carrier, it would immediately open fire on you and kill you very quickly, just like a station does.
Okay.
All right? Now, you're thinking right, though, that torpedoes are mostly used against large class ships like corvettes and cutters and anacondas because they are slow moving, they are a big target, and if you are going to hit something like that, like a medium class ship, there's almost no chance you're going to land a torpedo on a medium class ship unless the other player is just clueless, right? It's just not going to happen. And again, they are completely ineffective against NPCs. So,
and why is that?
Unfortunate.
Because they dodge them.
Because they dodge them. They NPCs know what they are, and usually you're only going to be successful against a human that doesn't really understand how deadly they can be because you never see them. So when you see one, you're like, oh, those are those stupid torpedo things. I'm not worried about those.
Yeah. Okay.
At the same time, when you do kill somebody with torpedoes, it's glorious. You see a giant cutter with massive, like the ships we're in right now. Let me look. I have 137 megajoules of shields, or 137 shield points.
Okay.
You can get a cutter above 25,000.
That's quite a lot. That's a tough boy. Right? That's a tough nut to crack.
Almost unkillable. Okay. And this is the kind of ship where if you don't want to die, you don't die. Like you have to stay in the fight because you can easily leave anytime you want. And like the Type 9 build I use has 1,000 megajoules of shields. And that's enough generally to keep me safe for about 30 seconds. So that if somebody attacks me, I can't escape.
I got you. God, the Viper feels so much faster again, doesn't it?
It's so much faster. Yeah. Handles great, right? And by the way, Cement, I see that you're in the FDL, and a couple of you guys were. It seems like everybody's being cool. If you guys want to jump in a Viper and join us, I think that'd be great. You know, if you guys feel like you want to stay on patrol, I really appreciate it. I got some really great guys in our Discord that help me whenever I stream. They help me moderate chat and all that kind of stuff. So as always, guys, I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's very nice. Yeah, I think sort of games with steeper learning curves tend to galvanize communities together very well, don't they? Like, as in, because you're all kind of helping each other, trying to get the most out of a game. And
that's right.
Kind of
that's right.
Almost promotes working together because of the challenges, I suppose.
There is a very small, can be vocal minority of rather toxic people, like you have in any community with player versus player type combat. And in fact, one of the guys here, Rui, he's helping us, said there was somebody here, making trouble. They made very quick service of him and took care of him. So I appreciate that, guys. I certainly haven't had any trouble so far. And for the most part, yeah, the community is wonderful. You know, we all understand. I heard a little bit of the stream you had with Malik where everybody knows there's not a learning curve in this game. There's a learning cliff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just,
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when I first started learning it that I was very lucky that a couple of guys took me under their wing, so to speak, and taught me the game. And I've always enjoyed being able to pay that back.
Yeah, for sure. I'm actually kind of like that with a couple of different games I've played in the past and still do play. Like the kind of games that are like, yeah, you could spend 6 hours on a wiki, or I can just show you how to do it, and then you show the next person how to do it, right? It's kind of like you passing on your wisdom of what you've been doing. But I mean, like I say, those videos sound good. If you guys are looking on in my chat, looking for lessons and things like that, yeah, Exigeous' videos are great. Malik's stuff is really good as well. Like, just the amount of depth of everything. It's like just when Malik was telling me about all the Thargoid stuff last time, I was just like, this is crazy. Because like, I do something called LARPing, which is like live action role playing, and that's something that I always tell the people about, like the depth of it, and like when you get into the story and all the background and stuff, it just blows your mind. And I kind of got a similar experience from finding out about all of the backstory of Elite and stuff. It's kind of like, okay, right, this is more complicated than flying our spaceship around in space, which is already pretty complicated.
Just quickly turn your beacon on for me. I don't think we might not be instanced together because you're not seeing really anybody outside the station right now, are you?
I'm seeing a cop.
Okay, we're not instanced, and let me show you how we can tell. So do you see me? You see the blue square on your HUD, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's me. Well, the fact that it's a square means that we're not instanced together, because if we were, and if you target it, it's just going to say wing signal Exigeous. Okay. And that means we're not together. Here is for speed stake, the quickest way to do it is for you to respawn. The quickest way for you to respawn is just shoot the station. So right now, just shoot the station. That will almost certainly respawn you. And then, guys, we'll probably start at like 1830, maybe 34. We'll see how quickly we can get Smithy out here. And get you going. And if I can, just quickly, the one thing I would plug, if I can, is my website. And it's actually not just mine. There's a number of different guys from our community that contribute to it. It's called ED as in Elite Dangerous, edtutorials.com.
Mm-hmm.
So all of my content is indexed there. And then there's about 10 or so other creators and groups that have also contributed content to it to make it a community effort. There's no ads on the site, nothing like that. And it indexes all of the content in a very easy to find way. So,
awesome. So that's ED Tutorials, is what you're saying?
edtutorials.com. Yeah, pretty easy to remember. So
awesome.
Okay, it looks like, let's see when you spawn in. There we go. So now, wait, no shit, we're not. Okay, so now, unfortunately, the way to fix this is a little complex. And so, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start at 34. I'm going to ask if you guys don't mind, please don't shoot me for a second, just so I can make instancing with him a little easier. I'm going to stow my hard points and just move right next to the station. What you're going to want to do is fly out to Super Cruise, and then you're going to drop on my beacon. And guys, go. You're going to drop on my beacon, and that should instance us together. Okay. So you know how to do that?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, great. So you'll just jump out. As soon as you jump out, navlock to me, and that'll probably drop you right back in.
Okay.
I think that crash is what screwed us up, right?
Yeah.
And go. There we go. Now everybody's going. I think, anyway. Yeah, open fire, everybody. There we go. Now everybody's engaged. Yeah, we got pretty. I was pretty surprised that we were as lucky as we were, as long as we were.
What's it going to come under? Is it under signal sources?
No, it's going to be in your contacts panel. So go to your chat panel. And then go to the third tab, the social tab.
Oh, we're up here.
No.
Yeah.
Sorry, your chat panel. Yep. You were there. And then the third tab, and then select me.
Engage wingman navlock.
There you go. Exactly. And see, bam, you're going to drop right back in. And
as soon as the server works out what it's doing.
So, by the way, this is what we call a Braben tunnel.
Right.
If you know David Braben, the CEO of Elite, so we jokingly call this a Braben tunnel.
Well, you're waiting in the Braben tunnel to connect to the instance,
exactly.
I'm guessing, right?
And damn, it didn't instance us again.
Okay. I can jump out again.
Tell you what. No, let me jump out this time.
Okay.
Tunnel of Death, Blue Tunnel of Death. We call it all these different names. Actually, you know what, Smithy? I hate to say it, but try that one more time.
Yeah, sure.
Because I'm with everybody. So if I jump out and get with you, that's actually not going to be helpful. We want to get you with the rest of us. It's a bummer this is happening to you.
That's cool.
Yeah, Cement, I might try that next. Let's do one more standard drop. One of the guys' suggestion is to, instead of Wingman dropping on me, to manually drop at the station. That's just a little tough. It takes a little more time. So let's try this one more time. Usually this works.
Oh, what's happened here? Why did I jump out?
Well, because you were navlocked to me, so as soon as you jump, you were close enough, it dropped you right back in. So that was actually good, and unfortunately it didn't work. So do this. Disengage navlock from me.
Okay.
Right? So a minute ago you navlocked, so turn that off.
Mm-hmm.
Great. And now jump out, and when you get out to Super Cruise, now you're going to target the station just like normal, and we'll try that. Okay. And then the last thing we'll try, if that doesn't work, is having you exit to main menu and coming back in and re-winging. And hopefully this will do it. And then what I'm thinking, Smithy, we'll wrap up. You guys, you do these for 2 hours. Is that right?
Yeah, we're finishing at 8.
Yeah.
In
okay,
20 or so minutes. Yeah.
Perfect. So I figure, 5 minutes beforehand, we'll call an end to the round there. And, that way we have time to close up if we've got questions or anything else we're discussing.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just kind of watching to see. I'm watching your stream. There's obviously a little delay, but I'm watching you on Twitch right now. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, I'm just locking Watt port as my navigation
Exactly.
target.
Yep. So just like you did. Yeah, you fly away just a little bit and then turn around and come back. Yep. Got it. This is not to act like you don't know, but do you know the 7-second 75% trick?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Great.
Although honestly, I just use Super Cruise Assist these days.
Oh, that's fine. Sure. But when you don't have it, it's important to know that 75% trick.
Yeah. So for people watching that don't know what that is, basically when you're approaching a target in Super Cruise, like a navigation target, you probably explain it more succinctly. Go for Exigeous.
Oh, you had it exactly. So when you're and you see on his stream right now, you're going to see the time at the bottom. So 10 seconds, 8 seconds, 9 seconds. When you see 7 seconds, you want to set your throttle to 75%.
I got it.
Disengage. Right. Did you fly past it?
Oh,
damn it!
I'm here.
and shit, it still didn't instance.
Okay. Could be North America, Europe situation.
It could be absolutely. So this time, go ahead and try to exit the main menu and log back in that way.
Okay.
So anyway, so when you hit 75, when you're 7 seconds away, set your throttle to 75%, and then by doing that, your deceleration curve will be perfect, so that when it tells you to disengage, to drop out of Super Cruise, that whole thing will happen perfectly smoothly, and bam, you'll drop right in. You won't do the loop of shame and fly around.
So yeah, if you don't pull that off, you whip past the object and then have to turn back round and all this sort of stuff. Anyway, do you want to try inviting me to the wing this time? Because the one we just had was the one I invited. So.
Well, okay, we're not in instance yet. But let's see if that did it. Okay, and now turn your beacon back on.
Oh wait, that wasn't. No, that's navlock. Wait,
not navlock, but beacon.
Beacon. Yeah, got it.
At the option. There you go. And damn, it still didn't do it. Okay, tell you what. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna jump out this time and see if I can at least get instanced with you, and then we're gonna see. We'll see if we can get then folks instanced in with me. This is unfortunately one of the bigger problems with trying to do this, and just kind of Elite in general, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm surprised that even in a wing we're not getting thrown into similar instances.
Yeah, and it's as you said, a big part of it is because of North America and the UK.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Okay, so now you and I are instanced, and there are some folks here for us to shoot at, which is all that really matters.
Mm-hmm.
So let's head back toward the station. Cement, if you are in a wing, actually you're not fighting right now. I tell you what, Psychit, if Psychit is still here, let me see if she's still here. We've got some folks to shoot at least. Yeah, let's not worry about it. We've got some folks to shoot at, so we'll just shoot at these guys. Because that's really all that matters, right?
Hey, we got him.
Hey, first kill that quick, right? Okay, so Maniac, the guy I'm shooting at, he's our back BGS. Have you heard that term before?
No, what's that?
BGS is the background simulation. So it's how, when you go to the mission board, you see a bunch of different mission givers. Mm-hmm. Well, each of those are what are called factions, and each faction is what controls a system and controls a station. And you can request from Frontier a PMF, or a player minor faction. So you can have your own faction, and then you can work to expand that faction's control throughout the galaxy.
Nice. So you basically make your guild an official sort of feature of the galaxy, right?
Great way to say it. I should have used guilds as a perfect way to describe it. And so our faction is called Squadron 11. Maniac is one of our leadership, and so he makes the decisions with a group of guys on where we're going to try to go next. Nice, Maniac, he rammed me. He died, though. Psychic, I just want to make sure we were in the same instance, that's all, so don't sweat it. And so if... we started one system, you get put in one station at the beginning, and now we are in 16 different systems.
Wow, so you've expanded out. Did you have to take that control from the NPCs then? Like they're
humans. And humans.
And humans, nice.
So right now we're fighting a war in a system against another group of human players, and we're actively trying to take the system away from them.
So how's that decided? Like, surely you can't expect people to be logged on like all night and all day guarding it.
That's right. It's the short version is it's very complex. Actually, the long version would be it's very complex. Mm-hmm. The short version is you do things like missions. You can fight in wars and conflict zones, and you're usually in that case fighting against NPC representatives of that other person's squadron. And by the way, everybody, we get 2 upgrades per death this time. So just remember, everybody, 2 upgrades per death. Let me put that in system chat.
So essentially, you sort of grind rep to gain control of the area. Is that right?
That's a good way to say it. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Yeah, you can do everything from missions, delivering cargo, turning in bounties. There's lots of different ways to do it. It does get it is by far the most complex part of the game, and is a ton of fun. Once you learn that.
And this is all part of the power play system.
No, power play is similar but different.
Right. Okay.
So with BGS, you can request your own faction, and have your own name and your own system and things like that. Power play is above that, where you pledge to them, and so you can kind of do both at the same time.
Okay.
Right? So our player minor faction is in the power play Leon Ree space. Okay, did that get way complicated there?
It's getting there, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, I understand. You're in one of the larger NPC power play zones, but they don't mind you controlling that as long as you're sort of their vassals, are you?
Basically, yeah, and you can expand that. So some guys get more into power play. It has its own complexities and things like that, where some guys get into BGS. Okay. And by the way, for your upgrades, I don't know if you've done any yet. I would maybe do a couple medium multi-cannons.
Yeah, I have. When you say you're medium, they're 1G. Is that medium or not?
No, that's small. So you want to change that. So jump back into outfitting. And what you did you move the pulse lasers to the small hard points?
Oh, those are small hard. Oh, I see. Yeah.
And for right now, just sell. The quickest thing to do is just right there, buy. Don't even worry about transfer. Just browse shop and buy. That's fine too. And just buy 2 new medium multi-cannons and then buy 2 small pulse lasers, and then you're where you should be.
Okay.
And damn it, it looks like we maybe didn't get instants together again. We're not going to worry about it so long as you have targets to shoot
exactly. Just shooting at stuff.
So we just don't have to waste. Yeah, we won't worry about kind of wasting the time. And so for me this time, I picked railguns.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and if you've used railguns before, they take a lot of energy. They generate a lot of heat, so you have to be a lot slower. Like I fired twice, and I overheated for a second, which is not something to really be that concerned about. You can take some heat damage and it not be a big deal. So modules don't malfunction until they drop below 80%. But probably 2 mediums was probably a little aggressive of me. I probably should have done 2 smalls.
Okay, to save time, I think I'm just going to deploy with these 1G multi-cannons on here. I'm sorry, everybody out there.
Okay. You can change it next time. Yeah, it's no big deal.
I know that, you know, I'm already showing some real talent in the PvP arena by taking on some of the finest PvP pilots in Elite Dangerous.
You defeated one of the best pilots in the game at least twice. You killed Bango, right? And boy, Bango, we're definitely going to clip that. You know we're going to.
Gear up.
So yeah, are there at least some humans out there for you to shoot at? So you're looking for hollow targets, and I don't know that I'm seeing any on your HUD.
When you say, yeah, why? Oh, because that's a player, is it? A hollow target?
Yeah, it's a hollow one, it's a player. If it's a solid one, it's a computer. And I'm not seeing. Man, this sucks that you're the only one getting this. Do this real quick. Do an exit to main menu real quick. Let's just try that one. And we won't necessarily worry about winging up. It's not that important for what we're doing. So yeah, exit main menu, come back in, and we'll hope that does it. The last thing we probably don't have enough time for that. We could do one match. We could switch to. Have you ever played CQC?
Not in a very, very long time.
Okay. I tell you what. If you didn't get instance with anybody. Why don't we? Man, I'm thinking we've got 10 minutes at least. Why don't we do that? What would you think? Because if we all switch to CQC real quick, get one CQC match. Okay, everybody that's in Discord that can hear me, we're just going to exit out and go to CQC real quick. So go to exit. Yeah, Jzad, I just think that would take too long to try to friend up and stuff. So exit to main menu.
Yep.
Go over to arena. Go to continue. Go to arena, and don't click until I say. And so guys, get there as quickly as you can, because obviously we don't want to wait too long here. I'm going to send you, actually I'm going to have you do this. You're going to send me a squad invite. So once you're there, over on the right, you'll say invite to squad. Great. Find me. Perfect.
Wait, what was your kill? Oh, look at this. 1,200 kills. Amazing.
Well, I mean, and see, I'm rank 48 and you're 1. If we didn't rank up, we almost certainly wouldn't get together. Right, okay, so now you can back out.
Okay. Oh, shit, I went too far. Oh,
that's okay. That's okay. Head back in. Okay, no big deal. Arena, send me that squad again.
Sorry. Misclick.
No, you're all good, man. No worries. I'd complain if I had done the same thing multiple times.
Okay, invite sent.
Invite. And so now we're going to do team deathmatch. And so guys, I hope you're ready since I can't hear you guys. So I'm going to count it down. Well, actually, don't even worry about it. Go ahead, Smithy, and click on team deathmatch.
Okay, team deathmatch. Queuing now.
And now I'm queuing with you, and we'll see what we get. We need a minimum of 4, so we only really need 2 others to get something in here. You're starting with the Condor. So just to explain CQC for folks real quick, there are 4 ships. There's the Condor, which is the ship launch fighter, the Imperial fighter, which is another ship launch fighter, the Eagle, and the Sidewinder. They are special versions They're very different than the versions in game. They have different outfitting, slightly different modules. They fly slightly differently. So and everything that happens in CQC stays in CQC. So it doesn't affect your in-game anything. There's no rebuy. There's nothing like that. It's a very fast-paced and great. I'm recognizing some of these guys. It's very fast-paced. It's almost like a first-person shooter respawn type mechanic. You do earn some credits, but not much. It's really just for fun.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a quick way to get into that dogfighting combat, I'm guessing, right?
Exactly.
Right.
And right now, you can earn elite rank in it. So there are probably in the maybe 6 digits triple elite, certainly 5 digits, like, in the multiple tens of thousands have triple elite. There are 26 known that are elite in CQC.
That's not very many.
It takes that long. It takes something like 26,000 kills.
Wow.
To reach elite in CQC.
That's a lot, isn't it?
It's absurd.
What's your play time on this game now, do you reckon?
So across all of my accounts, I don't think I've crossed it yet, but I'm right about, embarrassingly, about 7,000 hours.
7,000 hours. Holy shit.
I started playing in April of 2016, so I've been playing about 4.5 years. In CQC,
solidly since then, so 7,000 hours. Yeah.
In CQC, I've probably got about maybe 100.
Okay, so
somewhere in that range.
100 hours, would you say?
100 hours. Yeah.
Okay, right. Yeah. So it really is something you dip into now and then, but you're primarily playing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. This is very tradition. Every one of my live streams since I started 2.5 years ago, I've always ended with a match of CQC because usually I'm doing something in game. I try to make either on Tuesdays I stream a thing called Tutorial Tuesday. On Fridays at this exact time I host. Generally I'm the host. I do Friends on Friday, and so then at the end of the stream it's a way for everybody to join in and and get to fly with the viewers and that kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's
I don't
cool.
know why we're sitting here for so long. Because we should have started by
There's
now.
nothing I need to press over here or something.
No.
Game
Actually
starts. There we go. 28 seconds.
Oh, there it goes. Of course, just because I was saying something, right? So this is a good way to kind of end the night. Usually I'll do the first round with everybody on stream, and then after this I end the stream so I can jump in VR because I enjoy combat in VR much more.
Well, you can whip your head around and see things fly over the top of you and all sorts of stuff, right? Yeah.
That's exactly right. Last thing I'd point out about CQC is there's little power-ups around the map. So there's double damage, which is exactly what it sounds like. There's speed surge, which only lasts for like 3 seconds. It's kind of worthless. There's stealth, which is like silent running. And there's shield boost. This map only has 1, and it's double damage.
Okay.
And it's down at the bottom. And so now we're just shooting the other targets. By the way, you have to target visually. You cannot say next and previous.
Okay.
You have to be able to see the target and pick them manually. And so, for example, I just got the double damage, or as we like to call it, the cheese. So there's a guy in a Sidewinder. The Sidewinder is very tanky, but very slow. I really don't like the Sidewinder. Going through the tunnel. Just a tip, if you don't know, you can untarget gimbaled weapons and then fire them as if they were fixed. Just as a tip.
Okay, interesting.
That makes sense. Yeah, little advanced technique, a little hard, but you should have chaff, by the way, in your stock in that stock outfit.
Have I set my fire groups? Is the question. Oh.
It should be default, I think. I think they should have been defaulted. Maybe not.
It was, yeah, you're right.
And this is to 25, so we should have time to finish one match, and then I'm guessing with the time, then we'll call it a day.
Yeah. Oh, it's been really good. Thanks, man. Thank you so much for your help and stuff.
Oh, absolutely. So glad. I hope I didn't dominate the conversation too much. I tend to get into helpful mode.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. Like whenever talking about something that I really enjoy, and I'm trying to like unpack all that information as quickly as possible for the person listening, sort of thing. No, for sure, it's great. It's good because like I'm kind of part of the audience in this scenario, I think, because I'm sort of still learning a lot as well. So to sort of sit there and have you sort of guide me through stuff I think it's really good. So yeah,
It's one, you said earlier, it's one of those games where, I like to use the phrase, you have got to stand on the shoulders of giants for a game like this. You're not going to learn this by yourself. For me, I got my first VR headset. I got the first Oculus Rift, and I got in the game and thought, oh my God, this is amazing. I have got to learn how to play this. And so I jumped into a Discord and started asking questions. And, here we are.
Yeah.
7,000 hours later.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, I had the same experience with a game called Escape from Tarkov, which again has like a...
I heard you talking to Malik about that.
Yeah, absolutely steep learning cliff, and it's very much the same where you're just like, it's so much better and more efficient to just ask the people you're playing with who've gone through it all before, like, what do I do here?
That's
what
right.
do I do here? Than like knee deep in Russian wikis.
Yeah.
But no, it's great. But yeah, so like the ED tutorials is probably something I'll actually have a look at as well. I used to use Road to Riches for like exploration. I don't know if you're familiar with that. You probably are.
Absolutely. I have a tutorial video that explains all the methods to using it. So yes, absolutely. Very familiar.
Yeah, I found
and it's a great way. Yeah, for new commanders, early game, to earn credits. Great way to earn credits.
Yeah, I love making money in games. So that was the first thing I was interested in.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and Elite's in such a it's in the best state it's ever been in terms of you can earn credits so quickly. We didn't really talk about engineering much, but the hard thing about engineering is gathering materials for it, and you've never been able to gather materials as quickly as you can now. So it's things have gotten a lot better over the years. There's still a lot of big flaws in Elite, but overall, I mean, obviously with the amount of hours I have in it, I do truly still love the game.
Yeah.
I can be very critical of it, but I'm critical of it because I love it so much.
Absolutely. Like, yeah, nobody hates Star Wars like Star Wars fans.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, that happens, doesn't it? Like, I'm the same. It's like, again, with Tarkov, I was like, my God, why is this game so impenetrable? Once you get into it, it's amazing. I wish more people could experience this. But like, goddamn, sometimes.
I guess I didn't realize, because I only know just on the surface that Tarkov is a shooter, right?
Yeah.
And I guess I just figured, shooter, generally pretty straightforward, right?
But they are like all these games, like again, like Elite, and like I almost feel like I like the idea that there's so much I don't understand about something, and it kind of excites me, I suppose. But like there's a lot more to learn here, rather than like, right, you basically know what the game is from day one.
I literally learn something new about the game every day. I mean, truly, there's something new, some little tidbit, some little fact, some little thing that I didn't know, virtually every single day.
It's very impressive. So when do I get to change these loadouts? How come I can't choose other loadouts? Oh, I need to higher ranks.
Because you haven't unlocked them. Yes, exactly. Right. So this is a little more simple in that sense. The good news is the stock loadout that you're using is one that the veterans use and are super successful with it. So you're not at a significant disadvantage by using the stock loadout. I mean, I do have mine changed a little bit. There are things that are a little better, but it's not, it's not like in game where you have an engineered ship versus an unengineered ship where, the difference in that is just massive.
Yeah. These little fighters are fun as well, aren't they? Super nimble.
They're a blast. I love them.
I feel like I'm flying an A-wing or something.
Yeah. Speaking of, have you played Star Wars Squadrons yet?
I have. Yeah. This is actually reminding me a little bit of it.
It really does, doesn't it? Are you enjoying Squadrons?
So you know what I was just saying about I like games where I feel like there's so much more to learn. I think that in part, I was really excited for that game. I love classic cockpit flight sim shooters.
Sure.
But the idea that they're not really developing it anymore makes me a bit like sad, I guess.
Have they officially said something like that, or people just kind of
apparently there's no plans to further develop it. Like, it is what it is now, essentially, and that is what it's going to be.
Okay, that's disappointing because I'm really enjoying it, but yeah, it's not nearly deep enough.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. I hope so. I hope so because I do love this kind of shooter. Sorry, this kind of... It is a shooter. It's like a flight sim shooter, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
In combat, anyway. Yeah,
I think if you want the experience of being in Star Wars, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like in VR, I find it incredible.
That's why I can't, like, I'm really looking forward to Odyssey because another part of, like, why I played Elite and what I love about space sims in general is, like, I'm looking forward to the idea of getting out of the chair, walking down to a planet or onto a station, and then getting back in the chair, if you know what I mean. Like, I think it's going to give it that gravitas of, like, this is my ship. I go around this giant universe in this ship, you know? And I just love that. Like, you know, it's the same deal with a lot of the older, like, X series of games. Did you ever play those, like X3 and things like that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I just love that. And so I'm looking forward to sort of giving it a bit more gravitas and then probably going and ferrying some more passengers around or something like that.
Well, there's going to be if you've been following it, the thing they call Apex Interstellar, where we can like be on foot and then we can get on a passenger ship.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah. I'll be interested to see like how like real it is, if you know what I mean. Like rather than like instancing and having clever loading screens and things like that, I'm interested to see how interactable and how customizable it'll be.
Yep. We've still obviously got tons of questions about it. For those that might not know, I'm guessing all the viewers do, Odyssey is the upcoming expansion. We call it Space Legs because, as we were talking before, you won't be able to get out of your ship. Very similar to, say, Star Citizen. The joke is that Elite's going to do Star Citizen before Star Citizen
does Star Citizen. It really is. Honestly, it's getting that way. Let's be honest.
Oh, we lost. Half beta.
Good though. I got 2 assists. I'll take it.
Hey, sweet. You didn't actually have that many deaths either. That's not bad.
Not too many. I wasn't being farmed. But yeah, man.
And then here you can just, when you get on the next screen, I'm just going to back out now so we don't load into the next one. So.
But yeah, that's great. Well, I'll probably wrap up the stream separately and stuff. But Sam, are you here? Are you all good? Okay, right. So yeah, but anyway, Exigeous, thank you so much for joining us and being so informative and helpful.
Thank you so much for having me. This was an absolute blast. I definitely, if you're up for it, I'll ping you offline when we're done here. If you have any questions, any point on your journey, more than happy to help you. I mean, I not only do I have a ton of content that I can steer you to, but if you've got any little questions for advice, stuff like that, I would love to give you tips and stuff.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much for having me.
Along with the stuff we've spoken about, where's the best place for people to find you most days, like your content?
The two biggest places are going to be the site we talked about already, ED Tutorials. The second would be my YouTube channel. It's YouTube/Commander CMDR Exigeous. Pretty easy to search if you just Google. I mean, I'm the only Exigeous on the internet, but ED Tutorials is probably the easiest one to remember because all of my content is indexed there, and so all the videos will take you to the YouTube channel from that.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. I will love you and leave you. Have a great evening. Good luck with the rest of your stream.
You too, my friend.
And I'll catch up with you on Discord.
Thanks very much, buddy. I'll talk to you soon, man.
Awesome. Thanks. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Yeah, Sam, if you want to mute that and then do a quick sign off. I don't know. I don't usually read subs or donations on these things, but I'm happy to do it. I don't know how many if we've had anything come through. Just to the left here, this stuff. The 34-month resub from Moron Means Carrot on Prime. Thank you. Devonaf with a tier 1. I mean, when were these? This was at 6 o'clock, so this was just before we started. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed this again today. Like I say, going forward, we're going to be doing one of these a month, with more coming closer and closer to the release of Odyssey, which is what we were talking about, the big content, the big change to Elite that's coming early next year. We're going to have more guests like Exigeous, like Malik, people like that, just teaching me and hopefully you a little bit more about what Elite Dangerous is, and just all the cool stuff you can get up to, because honestly, like, I really enjoy these sessions in the evenings, just coming in and learning a lot about it from people who obviously really love the game. So join us again. We will be back next month. I will tweet out a bit of details. You can always catch us at twitch.tv/hatfilms. I'm going to be there. You can ask me in chat when Elite Dangerous is going to be. But yeah, thanks very much to Frontier for sponsoring these streams. It's been great. And we will see you next time. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.